spring morning. We got our cinder blocks, we got the blue barrels back there, we've got the PVC pieces incoming. Now it's just about leveling this up. Oh, let me make sure I got the level. Cam's level. God bless you, Cam. Yeah, okay. So we got our level, so we'll go back there. Hopefully I have enough fill. I think I do, to move it around a bit and get things level and get these things ready for blue barrels. These barrels I got off Kijiji, mostly they're rice vinegar. There's one here that's salted bourbon, which is still good to drink when we're so inclined. Got to rinse them all out, but they're all food grade, 55 gallons each. We got 15 of them. We're catching water from 1,400 square feet up top. So 1 inch of rain, by my calculations, should fill up about 15 barrels every time. So we'll see. $25 blocks, which means we're short 5. These ones died in transit or pickup, so can't really use them. Not for this anyway. Got another use for these. They're gonna weigh down the tarps on the compost pile. So I need to source another 5 cinder blocks. No biggie. Got the foundation in. That was tough. I had to dig out the middle because there wasn't enough space between the cinder blocks for the plumbing. So that was a lot of extra work. So cinder blocks, 2 by 2, 24 inches on center, separated in the middle by 6 to 8 inches. Got it in, pretty happy with it. Okay, so we got our blue barrels cleaned out. We've got no alignment issues. Everything is plumb and flush. We're gonna drill some vent holes in the top, which is really the bottom, the top of these barrels. And then we'll work on the manifold and start tying the PVC together. So we got the barrels all lined up. I'm pretty happy with the alignment here. And now we're gonna use a drill with a Forstner bit to drill out the vent holes. Okay, and the reason the Forstner bit is so great for this is it pulls the plastic up and out. Okay, so that's done. Vent holes are drilled, and now we're gonna get going on our plumbing. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put the bungs, or the bung caps, in here. We've got a 7/8 drill bit down there, and we're gonna drill out the T-in port, and I'm just gonna put this little plastic bag in there to catch the plastic. Nice Bosch drill bit. Happy with that. Didn't even need that, which is great. Just caught it on the bit. So I got all the caps drilled. We put the vent holes in yesterday, sealed them up with some silicone, and now we got our pieces out. We got our ball valves, we got our T's and pipe that we cut to 2 1/4 inch lengths with the male adapters and the couplings. Okay, so we're gonna lay these all out as they're gonna go, and then we're gonna PVC cement them. We got our primer and we got our cement. Some of this leaked in my bag. Now Jen's truck. It smells like PVC solvent. Love you. Okay, 6 3/8 from the end of the thread to the bottom of the T. That's good. Now let's do 14 more. So we got all the T's cemented together. We've got the unions on here. It's sort of torn between laying out the pipe, doing the measurements now, or doing it as I go and getting exact measurements on the pipe. I think I'd rather get exact measurements on the pipe. So I think that's the way I'm gonna do it. And I'm glad that I had that thought, because I put these straight up and measured bung to bung, and it's not 24 inches in every case. And in fact, to go 24 inches in some cases means that the barrels are gonna be right jammed up against each other, which when they expand with water, that's gonna be a problem because they're gonna move, and just the ground is not perfectly level. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up the manifold with these right side up or bung side up, and then I'm gonna do the measurements as I go and connect it as I go. And then from there, I'll disconnect the whole manifold, I'll turn every barrel over, and I'll plug in from there. That's what I'm gonna do. I think it's gonna go a lot more smoothly than if I did it the other way, manifold first. So now I've got everything laid out in the order in which it's going to be fit. And now I'm just going to start threading these guys into the bung holes, and we'll see how we go on down the line. Hand tight, it's in there. Put the union back on. Okay, now we'll just go on down the line. Now that I got this first one on, I'm going to measure the exact point from the middle of that, right with the slip, to the slip middle of that. And then I'm going to cut the piece of pipe to that length. I'm just going to put it on, and I'm going to make sure everything fits properly. And then I'll come back and I'll cement it, and then I'll unfasten all the couplings and lift up the manifold, flip the barrels, and then attach the manifold from the bottom. We got all the T-junctions in. We got the one pipe in here down at the end. We haven't PVC cemented it yet, but we will. These gypsy moths, man, just everywhere. We just need to tie this together. So what I've done is sealed each of the bung openings with some silicone. One last little leak mitigation measure. Okay, so Jen and I dropped the manifold in. Plumbing is now at the bottom. And now we're flipping these barrels over one by one, and we'll hook them up. We've got all the barrels tied up, ganged up together. Happy about that. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna connect the spigots on the end and then tie it into the eaves trough, and then we're done. Told Jen it'd be about 3 hours. It's been all day. I'm happy with it. I just hope it works. If there's a leak anywhere, I'm gonna cry. If it leaks there, it's gonna leak up here. Going for up high over here. And then over on the other side, we've got it down low. So down here, we're down low. I'd be interested to see even what gravity could do, because Garden Hill is just a little bit down, probably 3-4 feet down from here. So it'd be interesting to see. It's not gonna be under great pressure or anything, but it should be enough to feed some water down there, maybe put in a drip line. We've got the downspout diverter drilled in there, going over in there. See all the plumbing's at the bottom, right? Runs under the whole length. We've got some isolation valves going on at some points in between. I can isolate off a few different barrels at a time. The water will only feed into this spigot if it's from here down to there. Once it goes down to there, it's not going to feed in there anymore. This has got to be big enough to accommodate a nice big bucket. More than enough, right? And if we get some bigger buckets, or there's something else that we want to put on here, 5-gallon canteen. I don't want to be putting buckets and canteens down sideways to get water. I want a high option and a low option. And here's our high option. But anyway, here we go. I'm happy with this. And then the finishing touch was this splash block. So this is a big rock that we had up front from last year. I just threw it in the bushes back here, and I knew this is exactly what I was going to do with it. But I didn't tell anyone. I saved that for myself. And it replaces this old piece of plastic, just junk. Okay, here it is. My blue barrel system, rainwater catchment. Super happy. Project complete. And now we got to test it. If there's a leak anywhere, there's a leak everywhere. Gonna need to fire some water in this and then listen for the sweet, sweet trickle. So we're up here on the roof. We've got this thermos, and this is the moment of truth. All right, here we go. I thought I'd be able to hear it, but I couldn't hear it. I saw water coming out the bottom, but that's to be expected, so long as some of it made it inside the barrel. Let's see. See that dripping? So water is making it, so it's great success. The rain held off for me today. In fact, it hasn't rained in a few weeks, which goes to the project, the reason for it. But it's supposed to rain tomorrow. It's supposed to be cats and dogs. That'll be the true test. Like so many other projects here, this is a lot more effort than I thought it was gonna be. And it's important to me, and I want rainwater for the garden and for the chickens, and it's supposed to be better for the garden and for the chickens. And so high hopes. Wish me luck. Happy thoughts. Yep. Yeah.